Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to dive into one of the biggest and most iconic moments in sports history as far as I'm concerned. Let me just reword that. One of the biggest moments in my sports life. I'm talking about a moment in which we saw a record that's been for 37 years get passed. I'm talking about a moment in which we saw life get pumped back into baseball. I'm talking about September 8th, 1998, when Mark McGwire became a single-season home run king when he hit a home run in the fourth inning against the Chicago Cubs. Now, let me explain why this moment is so important. Those of you that follow baseball and follow sports period, you kind of know why this moment meant so much to the sport. Just a couple years prior, baseball went on strike. And that was just totally devastating to fans, especially like the real diehard fans. Now you got to realize when the baseball strike happened, it was so many what ifs. There's still so many what ifs as to what would have happened that season. Like would the Expos have won the World Series? Would Tony Gwynn have hit 400? He was at 394 when the strike happened and we had tons of games left. Like, we'll never know that. It's just something that's always going to float out there. The hypotheticals, people doing the math to see how he would have hit towards the end of the season. And, of course, you had the home run race with Matt Williams and Ken Griffey. They were 3 home runs apart. Griffey had 40 and Matt Williams had 43. And many people felt like he would have been the home run king. He was on pace to hit 60. And, when that kind of shut down, fans left the game, attendance dipped. It just wasn't the same at ballparks. But then 98 happened. And when I say 98 happened, 1998 happened. I mean, McGwire came out smoking on a crazy pace to start the season. Sosa followed him. And I mean, it was just crazy. They went back and forth all season. I mean, and just like the reality was actually happening. We didn't really think anybody was going to get to 61, but McGwire, man, and Sosa, they went at it back to back. I mean, it was just such a crazy time, right? I mean, the cell phones we had then aren't what we have now. You could make calls, but you weren't able to check Bleacher Report back then in 1998. I mean, that's 25 years ago, for God's sake. So we had to tune in. We had to make an actual phone call to see what happened. And it was so crazy because when you would see somebody in the street or see your boy, you'd be like, what's up, man? And he'd be like, yo, McGwire hit too. Or you'd ask somebody, how many did such and such hit? It was just a crazy, crazy time. And I mean, you had to be there in real time to really be old enough to understand. It was just so exciting when SportsCenter would lead off with the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and you would see somebody hit a home run. Just crazy, right? Like, and I know now things have changed and things, happen in baseball and people got called out for certain things that they did. And look, McGwire admitted his mistake, and I'm not here to bash him. I enjoyed it, just like we all did, right? People are so politically correct now, and they kind of bash him, and they like to go on this tour, which they kind of, get on him. But look, we were all tuned in. We were all locked in. If I'm not mistaken, the writers knew Sammy Sosa was doing something, and he still got voted MVP. So this politically correctness, it's annoying. Baseball benefited from it. Bud Selig, he knew what was going on, turned a blind eye to it, but everybody benefited from it. And then when things came crashing down, we like to turn on them. I, for one, enjoyed this time. I'm sure many of you enjoyed this time. So